Well, hey there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for clicking on this video and hearing me out, because I really need to rant to somebody about something that a lot of people are very frustrated about, especially if you're a slightly older person like I am, if you're a grown adult, and that is Gen Zers and some of the things that we have to deal with when talking with Gen Zers, just some of the really annoying things that Gen Zers do, some of the weird things that they do. And of course, I'm not putting all Gen Zers in the same basket. I'm not saying that they're all this way. I'm not saying that all Gen Zers are bad people. I just see some of these things going on, and I really just got to rant about it. So, have you ever noticed, if you're talking to a Gen Zer, let's say that they're a stranger, let's say you're meeting some of your in-laws, and you say, well, hey there, how's it going? How's your day going? How are you doing? And they just answer with a statement. They say, good, or they say, I'm all right. But they don't ask you how you're doing. They don't have the most basic, most fundamental manners to say, how about you, you know? They can't consider someone else for even a split second. They are totally self-absorbed, totally narcissistic, and it's got everything to do with smartphones and the social media culture, Instagram, all that garbage. And they're always taking pictures of themselves. They're always 100% and totally self-centered. And their parents are also to blame. The parents that raised them did not raise them. They threw them in a daycare. They didn't teach them manners. They didn't spend quality time with them. They didn't show them any love. They didn't cook meals for them. They didn't teach them any basic, real-world, traditional values. Values as in considering other people, considering other people's opinions, and listening to other people. It is a service to other people to listen to them and to ask their opinions on things. But Gen Zers were told by their parents, by their grandparents, by their teachers, by their whole environment, by the whole world around them that they grew up in, that they're the most intelligent, the most talented, most smartest people in the world, and the whole world revolves around them. It's a movie playing out in front of their eyes, and they're the main character, and nobody else matters. They are so amazing. They are so perfect. They are so talented in this. They're so genius in this. They're so inclined in this. That's what their parents were telling them all those years growing up. That's what their grandparents were telling them, their teachers, everybody. So, of course, if they think that they're so special, they wouldn't think for a second. They see no reason as to why they should ask somebody else how they're doing. Ask someone else's opinion on something. Ask for advice from other people. It's a service to other people to ask their opinion on things, and to listen to them waffle on about things, because it makes them feel important. It boosts their ego. It makes them feel like they're needed, So I go out of my way. I'm not saying I'm perfect. When I was younger, I had a lot of these problems. I'm certainly guilty of being narcissistic. I'm certainly guilty of being self-centered. I'm certainly guilty of thinking that I'm smarter than other people. But I grew up, But and I've always tried to do this service to other people, of even if I don't care, even if I'm not interested, even if I don't feel like listening to them, I will ask them, what's your opinion on this? Hey, can you give me advice on this? How do you do this? How do you do that? Can you explain that in further detail? And I can see that their eyes light up because somebody wants to listen to them. Somebody thinks that their advice is important. Because most people in today's world just don't do that. Most people are completely self-centered, completely narcissistic, completely self-absorbed. And when somebody is this way, it's not only a disservice to other people, it's not only annoying for other people, but it's tremendously destructive to the person who is this way. If you're thinking about yourself all the time, if you're narcissistic, if you have this compunction to compete with everybody and be better than everybody, you're going to be so paranoid, you're going to be so anxious, you're going to have a whole host of mental health problems, personality disorders, all of it. It's all got to do with this tremendously inflated pride, this self-centeredness, this narcissistic attitude that young people have. Not all Gen Zers are this way. Not all millennials are this way. But I think a lot of people out there, anybody who might come across this video, I know nobody listens to my videos, but it feels good to just rant about it. I know a lot of people can relate with this. I know a lot of people know where I'm coming from. So, another problem that really just pisses me off with young people is how materialistic they are and how shallow they are. I feel like in the past with previous generations, previous cultures, the previous world, value in a person and status and honor and richness in people was calibrated by their character, by who they were as a person, by what they do for other people, their generosity, their consideration of others, their bravery, their selflessness, their hard work ethic, their virtues, These things, in my opinion, are what gives somebody richness. If you're a rich man or a rich woman, you are rich in soul, you are rich in heart, you are rich in things that are not materialistic, that are not of this world, right? I don't know. However you want to describe it, but I feel like you know what I'm talking about here. But the youth of today, particularly Gen Z, judge people entirely on what they have material-wise, okay? What clothes are they wearing? What car are they driving? All of that. So it makes it very, very hard, especially in today's economy, in an economy that punishes you for success, that punishes you for trying to make a lot of money because the government just taxes it all away. There's no reason, there's no incentive for men to earn a lot of money. When young women are so shallow and all they care about, most of them, mostly what they care about is how much you earn, okay? makes it very, very difficult for a man to prove himself, makes it very difficult for a man to advertise himself in the dating market, for example. These things of the past, your character, your generosity, your honor, all of these non-materialistic traits mean very little, if not nothing, to young women. Gen Zers have it really hard when it comes to looking for a mate, when it comes to the dating market, because they also have to deal with, they have also grown up with their smartphones and years of pornography from an early age. And that has destroyed their minds, that has handicapped them socially, that has given them a host of mental illnesses, anxiety, especially social anxiety. They don't know how to communicate. They are not having conversations. They're not building the skill of having conversations. They're always afraid when having conversations. And they're not considering other people. They're not asking other people questions. They're not listening, which is most of a good conversation, is when you are listening to someone else. It's easy. You just gotta say nothing. But if you're self-centered and you think the universe revolves around you, and you don't have anything to say, or you run out of things to say, and you don't ask the other person any questions, you don't ask the other person their opinion on something else, then of course they're going to have trouble having conversations. And the Gen Z women are brainwashed, and they grew up being told by their teachers, by their parents, by their superiors, by the media, by the Hollywood and Disney movies, that they have to be better than a man, that they have to earn more money than a man, and that they have to despise masculinity, that they have to become masculine, that for a woman to have a provider is not okay. But of course, the men, even if they try to do these things, even if they want to earn a lot of money, and they crave those traditional values, those traditional gender roles, and they want to earn a lot of money, be masculine, be a gentleman, do what they have been doing for hundreds of years, what is flowing in their bloodstream, what they intuitively, instinctively know it means to be a man, is no longer wanted, is no longer desired, and no longer offers any value to the Gen Z woman. Both Gen Z men and women, young men and women, have it very hard and are extremely disillusioned, extremely brainwashed, and it's a very bad state of affairs. So these are all definitely problems, and I certainly don't have all the answers. I don't claim to be better than anybody. I'm full of faults. I'm full of all these same tendencies, but I'm proud to say that I'm aware of it and that I see it going on, and I can see what it is doing to young people. And if I can get through to a Gen Zer, if I can actually get into a conversation with one of them, which is very hard, but if you can achieve it, I'd like to tell them some of these things in a non-judgmental way, in a non-scolding way, in a way that doesn't make them think that I think that I'm better than them, or that I'm more virtuous than they are, or anything like that. Just totally from a place of caring and love for my fellow human being, because I know what narcissism and pride and self-centeredness will do, how it will ruin their minds, how it will ruin their life, how it will cut them off from the world and make people want nothing to do with them. I know how they're going to suffer when I see what Gen Zers are doing. So the answer to how you fix all these things is the opposite of what Hollywood movies and the media and social media culture is telling them. And it's so simple, and it's so easy. It costs no money. It costs very little effort. But it's cherishing simplicity. It's cherishing non-material things, okay? When I say non-material things, who someone is as a person, their character, their personality traits, their selflessness, the effort they put in for other people. That's what gives someone value. That's what clothes a man or a woman in majesty and honor. Not how much money they make, not what their degree is, not their politics, not what they're posting on social media, none of that shit. So the way that Gen Zers can find respite, can find relief from their anxiety, from their depression, from their mental health battles, is by cherishing simplicity, being more minimalistic, listening to other people, putting effort and putting work into these non-material things. It's hard work to be selfless. It's hard work to listen to other people and not say anything, not have any responses, just let them waffle on. It's hard work to consider other people's inputs. And it's certainly hard work to learn from other people and to acknowledge that other people are knowledgeable on things that you might not be knowledgeable on, and to listen to what they're saying and to learn from them. When the Gen Zers think that they are the master gods of the universe that are all-knowing and cannot learn from other people, cannot ask other people questions, they do such a disservice to themselves. They could have learned so much. They could have been enriched by so many other insights. They could have learned so many skills. They could have been guided on so many different paths in life. If they would ask people older than they are about things, if they would ask other people's opinion on things, if they would listen to other people waffle on. But somebody who's a narcissist is eternally competitive, and everybody is not only a threat, but they are usually an enemy. And when somebody is your enemy, you attack them. When a narcissist is having a conversation, they will hear something that somebody else is saying, and it could be something totally innocent. It could be something totally non-aggressive, but they will have to one-up everything that the other person is saying. They will have to play devil's advocate constantly. They will have to frantically disprove everything the other person is saying. And they are destroying themselves. They are cutting themselves off from an infinite wealth of priceless knowledge, of priceless information that could be coming from other people in the world. It's like a bowl. It's like a bowl that you turn upside down. The bowl that is turned upside down cannot receive information. It cannot receive other people's insights. It cannot receive richness from other people. But you turn the bowl right side up, and you can put things in the bowl. A narcissist is an upside down bowl. So anyway, I hope that I said some things here that someone out there could relate with, because when it comes to these sorts of problems that are so new in society, that are so scarcely talked about, it's easy to feel like you're alone. And if you have a Gen Zer in your life, or you interact with a lot of these young people on a regular basis, I think it'd be really important to sit down and talk with them about these problems and these threats to the soul and to the mind and to the fabric of society itself. Sit down and tell them how they've been lied to, how they're being conditioned, how they're being trained to be narcissists, materialists, and to chase things of no value, of no real richness, and teach them what real riches are. Teach them to cherish simplicity, to listen to other people, to consider other people, and to serve other people. Teach them that when you are not focused on yourself anymore, that you will no longer be anxious, you will no longer be paranoid, you will no longer be socially anxious, because social anxiety stems from worrying about what the other person is thinking of you, about what other people are thinking of you. And you are worried about that because you are thinking about yourself. Teach them that you can be freed of all of that. You can have great conversations. You can approach and talk to anybody because you're a spectator. You're in the seat of the roller coaster. You're watching what's ahead of you. You're not thinking about what the roller coaster thinks of you. You're being taken on the ride. You're doing a service. You're listening to other people. So this life that we all live in this world is exceedingly short, And when you're young, when you're a young man or a woman, when you're a Gen Zer, you don't know how short it is. And Hollywood movies, Disney movies, media, all of these things will convince a young person that they're going to live forever. That they're never going to die, they're never going to get sick, they're never going to have any big problems. But this life will end. And for a lot of people, it will end much earlier than they were planning. But the things that we bring with us to the next life are the non-material things. The richness of soul, the richness of our character, the richness of our determination, the richness of our work ethic, the richness of our pain threshold, the richness of our patience, the richness of the love that we are capable of feeling for other people, the richness of selfless love, the richness of generosity. All of these things are more precious than gold or diamonds. But we can't see them, we can't touch them, we can't hold them, and we certainly can't take a picture of them and post them on social media. If even a little bit you put more effort into those things and you consider the concept that that is all that we will take with us to the next life, then it will change how you live your life. And it will make your life better in some ways. It will also make your life worse in some ways. But a lot of the things that young people are chasing in life, a lot of the things that young people think is success in life, are going to wear them out. It's going to burn you out. You can buy every car in the world that you would ever want. You can sleep with all the women you would ever want to sleep with. You could get any material thing in this world that you've ever wanted, and you can get as much of it as you want. It will burn you out, and you will not find true happiness in those things. You will not find true happiness in having a lot of money. You will not find true happiness in a relationship. None of these things can give you perfection. None of these things, all of these things will disappoint you. The best girlfriend or the best boyfriend you could ever find will always disappoint you in some way. And they cannot give you happiness. Things of this world cannot give you happiness.